What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Back, Team No Sleep. You know how I get it in. I'm back with the rant, man. I gotta get this off my chest. Just hear me out. Leave your comments. Let me know what you guys think. I've done videos similar to this, but I'm giving you an updated version of it. I am getting so sick and motherfucking tired of people making excuses to not fight Keith Thurman. Like, I don't know what it is. Like it's like an epidemic. Like people stay the fuck away from the topic of Keith Thurman. Now, Keith Thurman is vastly untested. I will admit that. And I say untested because maybe his toughest fight, best skill level opponent, whatever you want to call it, has been Diego Chavez. And it was a good competitive fight. He showed ability to make some adjustments and he got the stoppage. He also had gatekeepers like Josesito Lopez, who had been beaten. He was stopped by Maidana, etc. So I admit that. But here's an analogy for you guys. When I first turned 18, I applied to get a credit card. I was like, you know what? I'm grown now. I want a credit card. And I applied. I went to Macy's. I went and I was like, I want to get a credit card. Fuck it. I'm grown. You know what I mean? Give me that plastic. And I'm like, cool, you know what I mean? I make good money as an 18-year-old, you know what I mean? So I'm like, cool. Denied. I did the application at the store or whatever. Denied. I was like, what the fuck? Damn. Didn't even give me a shot. So they're like, oh, you'll receive a letter in the mail. I get the letter in the mail. The letter says in print, unfortunately, we're not able to approve you at the time for a Macy's credit card due to, and it had a ... and then they just, that part was like a generic letter, and then they just pre-fill based on why they didn't approve you. And it said, based on insufficient credit history. And I'm like, no shit. That's why I'm trying to get a credit card, because I don't have any credit cards and I want one. You know what I'm saying? So the point being is I applied even other places after that and I got denied. And I was getting denied because as a credit lender, your whole job is to assess the person. That's why they say your FICO score and stuff like that. They look at things like that. Who you have debts out, how high your balances are, how many cards you have open, how many times you're applying, just different things like that, because they want to know the level of risk you are. Like if you had 6 credit cards and they're all maxed out, then, you know what I mean, we probably won't want to give you a credit card because you maxing everything out. You know what I'm saying? So basically I was getting denied for, they didn't know what type of risk I was because I had no credit history. The point being is, how do you establish credit? This was my question. I asked my mom. I was like, how am I supposed to establish credit if no one will give me a fucking shot? I know I'm responsible. I know I'll pay the bullshit debt back, but no one's giving me the opportunity to even prove that because they're denying me for not having sufficient credit history. So they have nothing to gauge me off of. Same fucking principle with Keith Thurman. It's the same thing. We see that he has freakish power for his division. We see that he makes entertaining fights. However, we cannot have an accurate gauge of where he truly is other than calling out people because no one will take him up on his offer. He was supposed to make his HBO debut, fight Maidana. That's biting off a lot. We've seen Maidana just fight Floyd Mayweather. We've seen him run through Adrian Broner, and he signed up for the fight. Maidana and his team, mostly Maidana's team, I'm assuming, from the article, retracted. And they're like recanted. And they're like, no, we don't know much about this dude. Fuck it. This is not the right fight for us. So they pulled out of the fight. You know what I mean? Robert Guerrero, as a comeback after the Mayweather loss, they offered him the Keith Thurman fight. He declined it. Oh, who's this? And him and his father made jokes about it. Even after the Kamagai fight, I think Ruben Guerrero was like, oh, what is that, a country singer? Talking about Keith Urban. Like, haha, motherfucker, fight the motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, fuck the jokes. Fight him. See if he's a country singer when he's beating your ass with his guitar. You know what I mean? So the point being is, it's like when the fighter is doing all they can to get the fights, to get recognition, this, like, I feel like, I honestly feel like Roy Jones Jr. right now. Y'all must have forgot. Remember that? Because I feel like y'all must have forgot. I just named off 2 potential fights that would give us a good gauge of where Keith Thurman is, Robert Guerrero Maidana. And if you guys recall, if you know your boxing, he went to the press conference after Paulie Malignaggi had a tough fight or a win or something. I forgot exactly what Malignaggi fight. And he interrupted it. And he was like, "Don't duck me, thun." And he was talking shit to Paulie Malignaggi because he was Paulie Malignaggi's mandatory, or he wanted a shot at Paulie's belt, etc. So that's 3 fucking welterweights. This was before Sean Porter ran through Paulie Malignaggi. That's 3 fucking credible welterweights that we would be able to gauge Keith Thurman. And for a variety of different reasons, one reason or another, the fight wasn't made. Now you have Amir Khan, who's talking about, "Oh, he's aging and I can beat him." Like he says he has all the skills and the speed to trouble him and all that shit. And totally trying to, like, I don't know if you guys remember Mario Brothers 3 on Nintendo, but there was a little like treasure chest, and if you unlock it, you get a flute. What that flute gives you the ability to do is warp to the end of the fucking game. So instead of going level by level by level and earning your spot, you could take the flute and blow on the fucking flute, no homo, and you're all the way at the end of the game. It's like a cheat code. I don't know how many of you guys will get that reference or remember that, but it was a cheat code that allowed you to hop levels without actually playing the levels and bypass hella shit to get to the end. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what Amir Khan is doing. Now, Amir Khan has heart. He's called out people like Bradley, didn't get his way. He says he made the attempt to fight Pacquiao. I get it. That's cool. But when it comes to Keith Thurman, it's like all quiet on the Western Front. He just talked about he wants to fight this person, and we try to make the Pacquiao fight, and Mayweather's aging. Why do you want that? Why do you want an aging Mayweather when you have a fresh, young, hungry lion who could make an exciting fight, who wants to fight you? And for goddamn sake, Keith Thurman is coming off of an injury, still calling out everybody. He's still calling out everybody. And these dumbass fans, not all fans, but some of the fans are using things like, "Oh, he's overrated." How the fuck is he overrated? You don't really know if he's underrated or overrated because he's not getting these opportunities. And I don't know what it is, but some of you guys are so outlandish and out there and skewed with your opinions. You have rules that only apply to certain fighters. You say Rigondeaux and Mayweather, they're boring. They run. They suck. Edeslani Laura, he's a runner. He sucks. Then you get a guy who's athletic, he comes in shape, he talks his little shit, he has knockout power, and you don't want to see him fight because he's overrated. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how is Keith Thurman honestly supposed to prove himself? Like, you tell me that. How is he supposed to prove himself? It doesn't make sense. He's overrated, so we'll just never give him a shot. Like, let him. And the funny thing is, it's fans saying he's overrated. Like, you're not waiting for him. Like, if he got mopped up and he got mollywopped and got his ass beat, then you said he was overrated. That's one thing. But this is all hearsay. This is just certain fans saying he's overrated. Like, it's not like something he did in the ring. He's still stopping majority of the people he gets in the ring with. So it's just your opinion is he's overrated. But he's not even given and being afforded the opportunity to have you proven right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? And then they're talking about making Amir Khan and Josesito Lopez. And I've talked about this. I don't want to see that bullshit because I don't give Josesito Lopez much of a chance. He looked suspect last week in his fight, and he doesn't look like he has what it takes to beat. Nor if Amir Khan beats him, that shouldn't be his Mario Brothers 3 flute to Mayweather or Pacquiao or to a bigger fight. If you fight Luis Collazo and then you fight Josesito Lopez, the Collazo, okay, it kind of makes sense because he stopped Victor Ortiz. But keep in mind, the Victor Ortiz he stopped was off of a long hiatus, coming off a jaw injury and Dancing with the Stars and Expendables filming and all kinds of bullshit. But, okay, that's cool. Victor Ortiz is the name of the sport. You stopped him in 2 rounds or whatever the case was, and he gave up or whatever the fuck, and you fought Amir Khan. Cool, the timing was right. Amir Khan did his thing, looked spectacular against Collazo. I give you that. But Collazo still wasn't the world beater or the end-all be-all of welterweights. So it's just I don't get it, man, and I'm really getting pissed. It's like, oh, Keith Thurman's overrated. He's overrated by whose standards? What has he done? Like, I really feel like I don't know exactly where he's at because I haven't seen him in there with the Marquez, against a Sean Porter, against a Floyd Mayweather, against a Pacquiao. So I really can't gauge where he's at. Like, and there's been a lot of fights where I'm like, this motherfucker's gonna get worked. You know what I mean? A lot of people thought Lomachenko was gonna get his ass beat by Gary Russell Jr. That wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? And that was only his third fight at a pro level. You know what I mean? In the pros, that was his third fight. So it's like we really don't know exactly what these fighters are capable until their skills are put to the test. Pacquiao, Mayweather, Cotto, Timothy Bradley, we've seen them against top level competitors, whether the people are washed up now. When Floyd fought Zab Judah, he wasn't necessarily washed up, you know what I mean? Or when Pacquiao fought Eric Morales, or, you know what I mean, whoever, they weren't washed up. So we're able to have a barometer and a gauge as to how good Pacquiao is because we've seen him in there against quality fighters. I've seen Cotto and his left hook to the body and him running through guys like Paulie Malignaggi, beating Randall Bailey, beating Josh Clottey, beating Shane Mosley, beating Zab Judah. I've seen that. So I really, since he's a OG in the sport, he's a veteran, I can gauge where Miguel Cotto is because I've seen him in there with every fucking body. Keith Thurman, I can't. I only can speculate based on what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? His ability to adapt. Like, there's, as much as Keith Thurman does well, there's still flaws that I see. He got rocked by the Soto Caras, so if he's in there against a big puncher or someone who's calculated like a Marquez, then what's the outcome going to be? You know what I mean? Sometimes I see Keith Thurman, he gets overconfident and he backs straight up. That could be bad if you're in there with Chino Maidana, someone who could crack. So it's like, I want to see these big fights, and for whatever reason, Al Heyman and the fans are making excuses as to why they shouldn't happen. I think that's utter bullshit. Like, let Keith Thurman, if he gets carried out on a stretcher because he bit off more than he could chew, so be it. Let his story unfold the way it's meant to unfold instead of just saying, oh, he's overrated. Like, why is he overrated? You know what I'm saying? And it's different when I don't really see anyone calling him out. Yeah, Luis Collazo and Devin Alexander said they're open to the fight, but this was sometime after. He's been calling out people. He's been set up and lined up and trying to fight people, and we're not getting that. So it's getting annoying to me, man. Amir Khan, why are we even talking about Josesito Lopez? Like, I think that should move you farther away from a fucking Mayweather Pacquiao fight by beating Josesito Lopez just for trying to fucking fool the fans into thinking that's some good competitive fight. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather see Amir Khan, like, I'd rather see him and Danny Garcia at 147, you know what I mean, a rematch like that, than I would rather see Josesito Lopez. There's tons of fight. I'd rather see Devin Alexander and Khan. You know what I mean? Just because I want to see Khan against someone slicker, and Devin Alexander at least showed a chin in the Sean Porter fight and the Soto Caras fight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really not looking forward to Josesito Lopez, and I have nothing against him. He's a good fighter, but let him fight his caliber of fighters, like a fucking Jesse Vargas rematch or some bullshit. You know what I mean? I just don't want to see it. I would rather see Maidana and Khan Part 2, anything like that. And again, it's like, it's all about the low risk, high reward bullshit. Khan has heart. He has, you know what I'm saying? He has heart. He wants to fight the best. Why do you want to fight an aging Mayweather? I understand you'll get an astronomical amount of money, but shit, earn that spot. And I think since Keith Thurman and Amir Khan are both, I guess, mandatories for Floyd, that makes sense. Amir Khan versus Keith Thurman. Put all the rumors to rest. Some people say he has a glass chin. Some people say Keith Thurman's overrated. Those two motherfuckers fight. Winner faces Floyd. I think that's perfectly fair. It makes sense. It builds excitement. I think it would be an exciting fight between Khan and Thurman. And shit, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like my video. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off.